Thanks for listening to the Swearing In podcast, where you'll hear the origin stories of those who chose to serve. So ground your gear, take a seat, and listen up. The Swearing In podcast starts right now.
Hello and welcome to the Swearing In podcast. I'm your host, Marty Smith. The Veterans of Foreign Wars organization is an unrivaled source of past and living military history. I had the honor of visiting VFW Post 101 in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where I met Army Sergeant First Class retired Keith Francis. Keith grew up in Alexandria, Louisiana. In 1974, he attended Grambling State University. After getting a little burned out on school, he talked to an Army recruiter and subsequently swore in at the Shreveport, Louisiana MEPS in 1976. He attended basic at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and was branched into the air defense. After completing AIT at Fort Bliss, Texas, he was assigned to the 3rd Infantry Division at Giebelstadt, Germany. His following assignments included the 7th Infantry Division at Fort Ord, California, the 2nd Infantry Division at Uijeongbu, South Korea, the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, the 25th Infantry Division at Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, and the 4th Infantry Division at Fort Carson, Colorado. Keith retired from active duty in 1996. Now this concludes your pre-brief, so let's get on with the interview.
Today I'm sitting with retired Army Sergeant First Class Keith Francis. Keith, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for telling me your story.
No problem.
I appreciate that. And Jake Wall is here too.
+1.
+1.
Marty's +1.
Keith, where'd you grow up at?
Grew up in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Mid-state. Yeah.
Really? I was at Fort Polk for 3 years.
Never got stationed there.
Lucky you.
Tried to.
Lucky you. Did you really?
Yeah, I tried to get stationed there, but they set me up here instead.
So, well, first off, what were you doing before you joined?
I was actually in college before I joined.
Oh, you were? Where were you going?
I was going to Grambling State University.
Oh,
I was
HBCU.
Yeah, back then it was just a black college.
It was just black college.
HB started.
But I mean, was it the game back then between Grambling? What's the game they always put on TV?
Oh, Grambling Southern.
Grambling and Southern, right? Was it still? I mean,
it started there.
Oh, really?
It started back. Well, they had been playing for years together, but the actual big Bayou Classic started in '72.
Oh, before they put a label on it and think,
yeah.
we can make some money off of this thing.
Yeah.
Nationally, right?
The real reason I went to Grambling is family oriented. My aunt went to Grambling. My brother was at Grambling.
Yeah.
And just,
okay.
I applied for other colleges, but I wanted to go to Grambling because it was family.
So, I mean, you had that planned all through high school and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
I mean, there's a tuition, right? Did you go on scholarship? Did you play ball?
No, I didn't. I didn't get picked up, but
God, you're so big though.
He's not that big anymore. No, but I went up when I got there. I fresh out of high school, 18 years old. I was walking through the campus one day, and Coach Eddie Robinson walked out of the gym, and he called me over, and he was like, "Hey, you're a big kid, 6'6", 230 pounds."
Yeah.
He was like, "What position you play in high school?" I said, "I play defensive tackle." He's like, "You're too small to play on my defensive line.
What?
I'll move you to tight end or wide receiver."
Wow.
Because at that time, pretty much everybody was 300 plus pounds on his defensive line. He's like, "You too small." I couldn't even play linebacker.
And so what year was this?
It was 76. No, 74, because I came in the Army in 76.
So this is fairly pre-supplement, like anything, right? They're just big dudes.
Just big dudes, yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, then...
So no thought to go out for catch the ball?
No thought. They had a linebacker. His name was Gary Johnson, but everybody called him Gary Big Hand Johnson because he had really, one of the guys was running through the line and he just hit him with an open palm with pads on. Guy woke up 10 minutes later crying because he hit him.
Just a big paddle.
So after I heard that story, I'm like, nah, you know what? That's not going to be for me.
Yeah. God bless. What a step up, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was at Grambling.
Yep.
That wasn't like at Alabama or something like that. That was at
And that's
Grambling.
when, if I would have played, I would have played with Doug Williams.
Really?
Yeah. I would have played with, if I would have went out, I would have been playing with Doug Williams.
Wow. I hate Doug Williams. Because he had the game of his life against the Broncos, right?
Yep.
When Washington beat him.
Yeah.
I was like, Doug Williams?
Yeah.
Who's this old guy coming in throwing for 500 yards or whatever? Anyway. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so football didn't pan out. So
Football didn't pan out. Then I got talked into trying out for basketball.
sure, yeah, makes sense.
Well, it's not. Me and some friends was nothing to do one Saturday. We decided we're going to go to the gym and play basketball. It's like 4 of us. And me with the bright idea, let's play 2-on-2 full court to 100.
Oh, Jesus. That's just fast break.
Yeah,
Just
you
sprint
got
that up and down the
So we played for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And right when we finished playing, we was walking out of the gym, and the basketball coach walked in. He said, "I'll see y'all in an hour for practice."
Oh, he's just assuming you guys are all going to go, right?
I went, but I was like, I'm burnt. I can't do it. But they had some really good guys playing. Really good, talented guys playing.
Yeah.
You know, I played a little, but I wasn't. You know, back in those days when you 6'6", you was either power forward or center. There was no point guard or shooting guard.
That's why when Magic came up,
yeah.
What was he, 6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah. So, you know, so I was like, yeah. But it was good. It was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun.
yeah.
I only did a year and a half. Then I decided to go into the Army for more of a.
Was it for costs or was it?
Just really didn't know I wanted to do in my life.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Sure.
I knew I wanted to do something.
That is so common, though.
You know, it wasn't. I wasn't patriotic at the time, but once I got in, I were.
Yeah.
You know, going in, like I say, with the guys I was with in college playing ball, I'm like, they were so much better, and
So quite it's a step up.
yeah. Then
Yeah.
I wanted to be my goal was to be an architect. I love drafting. I love the whole drawing part of drafting,
Yeah.
but I hated the math of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hated the math part of it.
I know nothing about architects except
Oh,
just
man.
the blueprints.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the blueprints and from planning it all out. Then one day I just said, "Hey, I'm going to the Army."
That was it.
That was it.
What'd your parents say?
My mom actually said good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I had an older brother that was in the military, and when I went in, my mom said, "Good. That's what you want to do. Go ahead in."
Was she like, ooh, that's one more tuition I don't have to pay?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, and at that time, like back in the late '70s, mid '70s, tuition was $600 a semester.
Right. It's not like it is today.
It was.
Yeah, sure.
You
I
know,
understand.
it was like that's $600.
But still,
that was $600.
but
just to
wages
keep.
weren't like what they are
Yeah.
now. So right. So
Yeah, so I'd say it wasn't patriotic. It was more reality check.
Were you watching? I don't know how unavoidable it was for you guys back in the 70s, right? I did interview a guy who said that when he was in high school, they would announce that John Smith, who graduated, they would announce over the high school speakers. John Smith, who was a senior, graduated last year, just got killed in Vietnam, and it was like, I couldn't imagine that, right? But at the same time, I mean, I don't know how much you watch the news. When I was 18, I didn't watch the news. I didn't know what was going on. Right? But the attitude of the country, you had to face. Did you consider that at all?
Not because I had an older brother that was in. He was a Vietnam era.
Oh yeah,
guy. So I really didn't consider.
All right.
The Vietnam aspect of it, or.
So how'd you do it? Were recruiters coming to the school?
No, I just went in one day, took the test, and.
Why the Army?
Well, actually, I wanted to go Air Force, but I missed the test by like 2 points.
Oh, really?
I'm like, I'm not going back to school. So next week I went in, took the test for the Army, and passed it like with 12 points.
Oh, okay. Any consideration? Was Navy ever on the table?
Nah, not in Middle State, Louisiana.
In your face, Eric.
No. Like they say, nobody played Cowboys and Indians being in the Navy.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Or nobody played Army or Navy.
That's right.
As a little kid. So everybody played Army.
That's true. Nobody played Navy. Yeah. What are you going to do? Stand at your balcony and like, hey, I'm swabbing. All right. So you go and talk to recruiters. You go in with a guaranteed job, or?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had three kind of choices. One was a cook. The other was MP, and then air defense. And I chose air defense.
Because you didn't want to do the other two.
Because I didn't want to do that. I mean, I could have done the MP thing. I just didn't want to do the cook thing.
Right. Right. Air defense. That's weird that they came up with that.
Because when you...
But that's what they offered you, right?
Right, because when I went in excuse me, when the part of air defense I was in was, we had two, and as we was talking earlier, at Fort Bliss, you had HIMAT, which was the Hawk missiles, Scud busters, all that.
Yeah.
Or you had short range air defense, which was Stinger, Red Eye,
right.
Vulcan Chaparral. I went into the Vulcan Chaparral part of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
God, that's badass.
Yeah.
Were you delayed enlistment, or were you like, okay, we'll send you next week?
Yep, send you next week.
No shit.
I took the test on Friday. Next Thursday, I was on my way to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Did you tell your mom before you went in and tested and all that stuff, or did you tell her after?
I told her after.
And I'm leaving Saturday.
I'm leaving.
What did you hear from your brother at all?
Nah, because he was in Korea at the time.
Oh, okay.
When I joined.
So, yeah, they're going to send you right away. Did you swear in at MEPS?
Yep, in Shreveport, Louisiana.
What year was that? Do you remember what it
January, I came in the 12th of January, 76, so I had to be on the 12th.
So you had already told the college, hey, I'm not coming back.
I didn't even tell them I wasn't coming back.
I'm just not paying you.
Packed my bags for Christmas and never
that was
back.
It, right?
Never went back.
All right. So, did you get any prep? Did you have any idea of what basic was going to be like?
No.
Or was it just like, hey, my brother made it, I'm going to make it?
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty much. I talked to a friend of mine. Her dad was retired Air Force. And he told me the secret to basic training was keep your mouth closed and do what they tell you to do.
That's right. Don't take anything personal.
Don't take anything. Keep your mouth closed. Do what they tell you to do. He said you'll be all right.
He So you're going to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Yeah.
He put you on the recruiter put you on a plane, or?
No, actually, well, at the MEPS station in Shreveport, yeah. But from Alexandria to Shreveport was like 100 miles. They put us on the bus.
Oh, they did?
To the hotel up there. We got off at the hotel. They had your recruiters up there,
Right.
Taking you through,
Right.
swearing you in again.
That's right.
Putting you on the bus or putting you in the hotel. Hey, you leaving this time in the morning. We picking you up here. You're on the bus to the airport. And
Now, you were a little older, right? Because you'd gone to college for a year and a half or so.
I was
19, 20?
18. I just turned 18 in September. So
After the college, too?
yeah,
Wow. So you went to college early.
yeah.
God damn. You're smart. Yeah. You just unguided.
Yeah. Because I graduated at 17, 18. I was in college. A year and a half. Then I turned 19 in the Army.
Damn, do you hear that? After a year and a half of college, he turns 19. He's smart.
Well, the one guy I was telling you, the friend of mine that was Air Force. Small town Louisiana. You grew up, everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And I was telling him I joined, and I had some friends telling me, the Army's not a place for a black man at that time of year, or that time.
70s had to be crazy. Right?
But my friend, her dad, I was telling him I joined. He like, well, if you're going in, do 20. He like, let them pay you the rest of your life.
That's smart. Yeah, that's smart.
I was like, what? He like, if you go in, no matter what happens, do 20 years, let them pay you the rest of your life. So I've been getting paid since 96.
So you get off the bus. What was getting off the bus?
Once we got to South Carolina,
Yeah.
picked us up on the bus, again went to the MEPS station, and they treated you like kings.
Oh, yeah.
They was nice, they was sweet.
All right.
Then your day you shipped out to go to your basic training unit, and nowadays it's not a bus, it's a cattle car.
I remember that. Yeah.
They actually put cattle.
Have you ever seen those?
No. What is
If
If you search it, you'll see.
a cattle car.
A cattle car.
What they actually move cattle around in.
It's like a van
Yep.
with like overhead handholds in it.
Yeah.
And it's got a couple benches on the side. So a couple guys can sit down, but most everybody else is standing up. We did that. I've been in those. Yeah, I've been in those.
So you would run in. We got there. They put us on the cattle cars to go to our basic training site.
As soon as you stepped on those cattle cars, it was like, okay,
you know,
it's done now, right?
It was like, we going to basic. They treated us so good here. They talked to us, But once,
like that?
Pretty close. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty close. Yeah.
it was a cattle car.
Jeez.
It's just a transportation thing.
Yeah. So once we get
It's nuts. Yeah.
to our basic training site, we rolling up, and it's still all World War II barracks.
Of course.
That was
right.
that
Of course.
was not the nice hotel. You got a room.
Were they stilt barracks?
Yeah.
Being over in South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
World War II barracks,
Wood.
and
Yeah.
you roll up, and all of a sudden the drill sergeants, what the hell you doing on my bus? Get off my bus! Get out! Get up your bags!
And that's the first time you got somebody
And it was
yelling
like,
at you, right?
oh crap! Here we go.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, yeah.
the only thing in my mind was just do what they say, do what they say. Just grab my stuff and go.
Right.
Grab my
Right.
stuff and go. Then you run in and you doing push-ups. I ain't did a push-up in my life.
Well, sure. Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Then they beat you down for 30, 40 minutes. Then go put your stuff up, because then we're gonna show you we want it in your foot locker, in your lockers, and it was like, just do what they say. This is like what's that movie?
Oh, you mean like Full Metal Jacket
Yeah.
or something like that? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
they
yeah.
just hollering day
Yeah.
and night and
Right.
day and night. Oh man, it was
And whatever you do is not good enough.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There was no correct answer to anything.
Right.
You know, if they ask you, did you like them, and you say yeah, well, you gay. If you say you didn't like them, why you don't like me? What I did to you?
Right.
You know, so
they got you set.
There was no whatever question they asked you, there was no correct answer.
I always give those guys credit because they're so programmed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're so good, right? They can ad lib, and they have 15 responses to you, right? Loaded. So,
pretty much it was just sometimes just set the hell up and do the push-ups.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a guy yell at me. He's like, sprint down there and do push-ups. All right. So he do push-ups, and he goes, come back up here. He's like, sit up. So we were like, set up, and he's like, I said do sit-ups. And it's like, you didn't say that. It's so dumb. But it got you. It's such a frayed wire, you know. You're just like, okay, I'll do it.
And it was the second week of just breaking you down from being a civilian.
Yeah, right.
Just breaking you down, getting you into the military.
What was your hair like before you came in? It's 70s now.
I never grew my hair long.
You never grew it out?
Nah.
So when they
didn't have
shaved
an
it
afro.
down, right?
Well, when
That was
you went
okay.
in and you sitting in the barber chair, and the barber like, well, what kind of haircut you want? You're like, oh, I want this. You came out bald. Everybody came out bald. You're like, hold on, is that Jake? I know Jake, but Jake had hair. But who's that guy? So you didn't know any after.
So you weren't coming in like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch.
Oh,
or
no,
anything like that,
no.
right? Yeah.
You was in the chair 5 minutes at the max.
And it hurt. Your scalp hurt when you
Oh,
came
yeah.
out because that guy didn't matter.
They like,
It hurts. Yeah.
There was always that guy like Point Break or California. That one guy that had long hair. They're like, all right, Point Break. All right, California.
Point Break.
It like always tracked him.
Right.
Not so sharp now, are you, Point Break?
There's a sadistic piece to the AFES barbers that they hired, I think. I mean,
You had to pay them.
they had to pay them.
You had to pay,
You
right?
literally got
But I
money
think-
that day, and you had to write down all your your serial numbers, so nobody could steal anything
That's right.
on mine. And then you physically were like, okay, haircut time. They shave your head, and you're like $8. Exactly.
Oh, really?
Dude, yeah.
I didn't know you had to pay
We
them.
had to pay
No,
them.
I think I was like 250. I mean, it was
Yeah.
74, 70,
Yeah.
76.
That's still about relatively like, Jesus.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
a lot.
But it was 250 to go in and get out the chair and go about your business. While you're walking,
They
run.
asked
That's right. You're running.
Yeah,
Right.
they asked us if we had any moles or anything. You have any moles or birthmarks? You're like, no, because they're
Yeah, because they're going to make you bleed if you do.
And one kid had a mole, and he got in trouble for not knowing he had a mole.
Oh,
And he was bleeding.
Because he was bleeding.
bleeding like crazy. He had blood dripping down over his ear and everything. They shaved that thing off.
You never told me that. That's
just
awesome.
gone.
Wow.
And they're like, why the hell didn't you tell him? He's getting verbally abused while he's bleeding, and he's got his finger on a hole in his head. You didn't tell him you got a mole. I didn't know, sir. I didn't know I had a mole.
Yeah, who knows they got a mole on the top of their head?
Yeah. You never caught that. You never caught that.
You dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have, did you make any friends with anybody initially? You know, going down there? I mean, you talk, but you don't know what
you talk, you just know it. You know,
Yeah.
you made a couple friends, people that you. Yeah, he made
Did
a
you
couple.
did you see anybody break down when you went to base?
Yeah,
Really?
We had this one guy from New York. I'm sure he was mafia related. His last name was Funicelli.
Oh.
And they ragged him. I think after the third week they had to let him go because
Really?
he
couldn't take it.
he couldn't take it. I know you know how to do it. Had you do the bars?
Yeah, sure.
He had to go 8 times, back down.
Where's he out?
He went once. He went down once, and that was it.
Oh,
Next week, went down once, and not because it was just he couldn't turn to come back. So
He just walked, and that was it.
Yeah,
That's the last
they
time
like-
you saw him.
Yep, you out of here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody cry? Did you hear anybody cry?
Oh, we had, yeah.
Did you really?
I mean, because like you say, like I was telling you, I just shut up and do what they say do.
Right.
They say do it, I'm gone.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't stop to ask questions. I didn't stop to wonder why.
I'm always amazed at hearing those stories because some people just join with the wrong idea, with no idea of what they're getting into, and it so overwhelms them.
Right.
And it's amazing. And not that they're weak, not that they're weak at that moment, obviously. But nobody prepped them. Nobody kind of helped them out or anything.
But you didn't have people hollering at you.
And in the 70s,
24 hours a day,
right?
All day.
In the 70s, they could touch you.
Yeah.
Right? They could
put
put their hands on you, right?
Put their hands on. They could take you behind the building.
Did you ever get hands on?
Nah, like I say,
you were smart.
They told me to do. And
of course, the guy's 6'6". I mean, who's gonna look up to the guy that they got by the collar, right? I mean, like just do more push-ups.
Yeah.
Did you get good at shining? Did you shine with your fingers or cotton balls?
I did both.
I learned to do that with my fingers
both,
too.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I do both.
Yeah. It's amazing when you get that shine. Oh.
Yeah.
That's
basically it was just polish. We didn't.
Right.
But when you went to AIT, then you had to.
Oh, is that when they wanted the high gloss?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they just wanted to have. They didn't want to have scuff marks on your boots, right? So okay. All right. Any other highlights from basic? Anything you got?
It was just. I mean.
Anything that was tough for you? What was tough for you?
Not much was really tough, but it was a lot of funny things that did happen that we like our about our fourth or fifth week, our drill sergeants came in. He like, you guys been doing good.
Oh,
y'all been doing good, so we're gonna take you swimming today. We're gonna get your uniform.
What a setup!
Setup. Get your uniforms, get your towels. We're gonna march down to the swimming pool and let y'all go swimming. And we all like, y'all smiling, you marching 3 or 4 miles.
Like, hey, we'll hang out. Maybe we'll see some girls in bikinis.
We get to the swimming pool. It was a sand pit. Low crawl. Go down. You're doing laps. Go down. Go back. Go down.
You're swimming in the sand.
You was pissed at the time. You're like, oh, they suckered me.
Yeah, right.
They feel the sucker on us that time.
But it gets down your back. It gets in your pants.
Gets in your pants.
And you're all pickle suit guys, right? You're all green, right?
Yeah. It was just stiff. Down and back. Y'all enjoying the swimming pool?
We had one who told us the only dessert you could have out of the chow hall was a push-up. Remember that sherbet push-up? He said, if I catch you not eating a push-up, you're going to do push-ups. I was like, this is the dumbest thing. But it was so... It was silly. It's silly now.
I never understood that dessert display case at Chow Hall. I think it was just mental torture because nobody was allowed to even look at it.
No, especially fat boys. Right?
Yeah.
Especially those guys. Right?
Like, we weren't allowed to touch any of that stuff. You get verbally abused like nobody's business.
It was just...
You would go in, get your plate, sit down, eat your food, get the hell out.
If you're talking, you ain't eating.
If you're talking... That's right. If you're talking, get up.
Yeah. You're done. You must be done.
You're done.
Right.
And you had to run to the mess hall. Had to recite your general orders before you went into the mess hall. If they ask you which one you...
Can you remember?
I can remember part of them, but if you...
What's your first general order? I think they got more now. I think they added on to it.
Yeah, if you didn't know it, go to the back of the line. You look out there, there's 50 people.
Yeah, that sucked. But that 50 person goes quick because they're just plop, plop, plop. Get out of here, right? So, what was the biggest ass chewing you ever got in basic?
It was one night we was doing. A camping trip, and in the middle of the night they just start throwing artillery shells.
Oh
around.
Yeah, like those artillery simulators.
Right. Yeah. They So they throwing them around. So me and about 6 guys, we just jump out our cots and we take off running. We hide underneath this bush, and we didn't hear them tell us to come in. So we spent the night underneath the bush.
You fell asleep? You slept down.
Hey, we saw everybody walking down the road. We didn't hear them say nothing. We didn't.
I'm not getting in trouble.
Why not?
So we stayed there, and the next morning we just followed them down the road, and we got to the mess hall line, and where you been? We didn't have this kind of house. Like, oh well, don't say nothing. Just do what they tell you to do.
They frag you out. Do they do your PT and all that?
Yeah, just do what they tell you to do.
Oh man.
You know, I was pissed, but by the time you got back to the barracks, hey, that was kind of fun.
You got more sleep than anyone else.
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah,
That's probably
Oh, yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, because by the time they got to the bivouac site, they ragged them. They had to put tents back up.
Not you guys.
Nah, because we was laying on.
I know.
We was laying under a bush, sleep.
That wisdom already.
Oh, man.
All right, so you graduated out of basic
Right,
in
basic.
75.
76.
76, sorry.
76 out of
And they
basic.
send you off to, did you go to Bliss?
Fort Bliss.
So Fort Bliss for your air defense job.
Whatever. Yeah.
How long was that school?
4 weeks.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Huh. What did they train you on? They train you on everything, or did they train you on a
They
special?
They trained us because, like I was saying, air defense had two. They were actually, we did short range and Hawk missiles.
What is a HART missile?
Hawk.
Oh, Hawk.
Hawk.
Oh, Hawk.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's
So I was
high
trained-
altitude
Yeah,
stuff, right?
I was trained on the Hawk radar
Yeah.
and on the short range air defense radar.
So you had, I think what they call them now is shred outs. So you were air defense.
Right.
But after your school, they shredded you out, and so you knew you were going to go to radar, right?
I know. Yeah, that was my job, radar. I didn't train in Vulcan, Chaparral,
Right.
Sting or radars at the time. I just trained on the radar itself.
Okay.
Which was kind of like, hey, well, when I get out, I can go work at the airport. Tower operator, because I know radar.
Is that why? I mean, did you have that thought
Well,
way back then?
once I saw the radar system, I was like, hey, I could do that.
Yeah, sure.
You
That's
know?
ATC, right?
Yeah. But
Okay, so when do you know where your first assignment is? Halfway through, or?
about the 6th week, you knew where your first assignment was.
Okay, so where you go?
I went to Germany, a little small town south of Wurzburg, 3rd Infantry Division, called Giebelstadt.
Oh, Rock of the Marne, right?
A little small town.
That's the. It's the square patch with blue and white stripes.
blue and white stripes on it. Yeah.
They call it Rock of the Marne, right?
Okay.
It was real famous in World War II. They made a big name for themselves. I can't tell you why, but they did. It's
Because you don't know, or
because I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Scratch the surface. Really famous in World War II.
But they were big over in Germany.
Yeah.
3rd Infantry Division was real big, but they moved them back. I think
They're back
now, right?
stateside
Yeah.
somewhere.
and I can't remember where. So, who were you assigned to?
Say we was with 3rd Infantry Division,
Yeah.
but because we were combat support,
Right.
whoever we would go like with artillery guys.
So you're up at like a division, and they're slicing you out to
Yeah.
these battalions and companies.
right.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
we rode around with tank battalions.
But they're always that's the whole thing. When you get like a tank battalion, or you got like infantry battalion, they've got all these support guys who are sliced to them.
Yeah.
And they're always in the back. They're enjoying life back there. They do their job, but especially as air defense.
Oh, well,
I
we
mean,
had
you're not
to-
front line guy. You know?
We had to be set up 45 minutes before sunrise, and we would only operate
Right.
for
Right.
2-3 hours after that. Then the rest of the day we shut down, and 45 minutes before sunset.
Yeah,
Like
because
2 hours before
sunrise,
sunset.
sunset's most likely time for attack
time,
and all that
right.
stuff. So, all right. So you're over in. Where was it at? Where were you? What was the city you were at?
It was called Giebelstadt,
Oh,
Giebelstadt, Germany. It was, like I say, about 30 miles south of Wurzburg.
okay.
So when I got there in '76, which is an interesting story, if y'all want to hear it.
Yeah, that's why we're interviewing you.
Giebelstadt, Germany was taken off of the map. Hitler took Giebelstadt off the map.
Why? Do you know why?
Yeah. Because they had a air base there. They had a tunnel that went from Giebelstadt to Wurzburg, all underground.
Whoa.
They had a 11-story hospital, all underground. The airstrip, which we would run PT on, it was kind of like one of those you would be like, why is the airstrip green?
Yeah. Green?
Yeah, why was the airstrip green? You never...
So you couldn't see it?
Okay, so you couldn't see it from the air.
Yeah.
And most of your German planes that took off from there had white spots on their wings or spread it out on the wings on the aircraft. So when you would fly over, it looked like sheep walking down the meadow.
Oh, wow. I think I've seen that camel design on like models I used to build.
No, it was just like
I was like, what is this for?
just like little plop.
I didn't know
white
that.
plops.
Just blotches.
Just blotches.
Whoa,
And
no
it would look like
way.
sheep. It'll be 2 or 3 aircrafts going down, and you're like, oh, just a bunch of sheep running, walking down the airstrip, or just walking down the grass because the airstrip was green.
It was like a big CIA for the Germans.
Yeah. So the only way they figured out it was an airstrip was a young private flying around in an airplane. They went on a mission and they was coming back, and the planes was going down the airstrip, and he said, those sheep are not casting any shadows, and they just started dropping bombs.
Whoa. Oh, really?
That's the only way they figured out. That's the only way they figured out it was an airstrip there.
When you went there, did they have access to all that stuff? Were you able to go see that stuff?
No,
or?
you couldn't. With the hospital, the first top 5 floors was wired with bombs.
Damn.
From 5 on down to 11th floor, they flooded. The tunnels that they took the aircrafts through were all wired. You could not get in there.
Like, how many miles away did you say
It
that?
was about 30 miles.
30 miles.
30-mile tunnel.
Of tunnels that you could get an airplane through.
From
like a fighter, right? A fighter.
yeah, a fighter.
That's still a
from
substantial. That's 2-lane highway.
From Giebelstadt to Wurzburg, and the tunnel came out on the airstrip in Wurzburg.
Wow. That is fascinating.
That's freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
But you're there, right? When there's still East Germany, West Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy. Did you go to Berlin?
Went to Berlin. Had to go, travel by train at night with the shades down. You couldn't have the shades up going to Berlin.
Oh, you're kidding.
No. You could not have the
That was
shades.
policy? You had to do that?
Had to have with Russian soldiers on the train with you.
Oh.
They're watching to see if you lifted, you was shot.
That is insane. I've never heard of something like that.
Yeah,
Really?
we went into Berlin.
I mean, you're in civilian clothes, right? When you go there, right? They didn't. Obviously,
I don't remember if we was in civilian or military.
they wouldn't They wouldn't authorize. Well, maybe they would.
Maybe
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But saw Checkpoint Charlie. Went to Checkpoint
Oh,
Charlie.
you did?
Saw the museum
Yeah.
there, Checkpoint Charlie. Saw the actual DMZ with the brick wall and all the
Yeah.
glass
all the
on top of
graffiti and
the
all that
glass.
shit. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you climbed over, you cut your hands.
Oh, yeah, because they put it in
They
the
put
cement,
glass,
right? They
right.
put it in the cement.
Excuse me. Saw the demilitarized zone between there and there. Something else a lot of people don't know, they did let dogs out to run the fence line. Okay?
It did.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they let dogs out to run the fence line. But they would only feed the dogs every 3 days.
Oh, shit.
So they would feed them, just send them out there, and the soldiers there trained the dogs from puppies. They would lay on the ground and put food on their throat. So the dogs wasn't mean. They just knew when they saw
That
somebody.
was how they were trained.
That's how they was trained. The food was on their throat. So they would go for your throat out of instinct, thinking you had food.
That is
That is crazy. Good night, man.
fucking Soviets.
Dirty commies. Wow, that's
Holy
cool, man.
shit!
Yeah.
Really? So I can only imagine. I've never been to the DMZ in North Korea or in Korea, right? But I can only imagine that Checkpoint Charlie and that whole place is probably similar back then, right? Is in the sense that you got to be on edge,
Oh yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, they're not welcoming you like, "Hey, come on in, America."
No, they had all kinds of. They had a big museum there with people trying to get smuggled in
Oh, the families and stuff,
big
yeah.
drum cases,
Yeah.
guitar cases, little small cars packed with only so much seats, but people were hiding underneath stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that compared to North Korea and South Korea, that border was fairly porous. Like,
Right.
they allowed traffic, like designated traffic, but they were allowing traffic back and forth. North Korea, South Korea, they're not allowing anything.
No, that's
like,
true.
You're just
That's true.
dead zone.
But I'm
you know?
saying, if you approach the DMZ in
Oh,
North Korea or
yeah.
Korea,
Yeah.
you know, right?
Oh, yeah. I can't
And that's
imagine
what I
that.
was imagining.
I
Right,
can't
yeah.
imagine the tension on that border. That's
Families separated is
yeah.
what's crazy.
So for what I heard when the Soviets took over, they did it at night. So because they didn't have a border,
Yeah.
so you go to sleep that night, you wake up the next morning,
And
there's
all of a
a
sudden, there's
fence.
a big wall.
You're in the
It's like,
Soviet
what?
Union. You can't go across.
I mean,
And that's how they separated families
how
and
you
everything
separate-
else.
Yep.
imagine that your parents are in the same town as you,
Right, and they
but,
go.
but they're got the old school, the
Yep.
old house in that other neighborhood, and then the next day you wake up and you're
Yep,
part of the
you're the-
USSR, and mom and dad are over there.
Yeah, that's so bizarre. And when you start reading the history of how they, Wilson and Stalin and all them, how they started dividing Europe, I'm sure they had no idea that they were going to do that. What did you just on we'll get there, but what did you think in '90 when it came down? Right, I mean, you were still in.
I was still in.
Right. Did you think it was inevitable that it was going to come down, or was
Yeah.
it a surprise?
Yeah, well, you kind of thought about it, but when it just happened, it was a big surprise
Yeah,
because they
it's
did.
almost 50 years.
Yeah, because they did have like platforms you could go and stand on top of and look over into this
Oh, did they really?
to West Berlin.
Yeah.
But when you would go up on that platform and look over, all you could do was just pretty much stand there. If you made a gesture, they was taking a picture. Propaganda.
Really?
Yep. Look at the Americans. If you did like this, oh, he's shooting at us.
Oh shit.
Or he's making a
Yeah.
bad gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all propaganda.
Wow.
That's the same thing as at the Korea DMZ.
Yeah.
They brief you. They brief you in the
That's fair.
atrium.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, when we walk out here, you can look over there, but don't make any
Yep.
gestures. Keep your hands in your pockets. Keep your hands behind your back. Just look and walk around, because as soon as you leave these doors, everything you do is being recorded.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And they-
that's
they-
how Berlin evolved?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Right? All right. So, how long did you stay in that assignment in Germany?
3 years.
Did you get promoted to sergeant by that time?
Came out a E4.
Okay. All right.
Came out-
Specialist.
Yeah,
I guess back
specialist
then,
at the
right?
time. Specialist.
Had
corporal.
they knocked all the numbers up? Because there used to be specialist 2, 3, 4. But
They did. What specialist was
there was spec
4, 5,
4,
6,
right?
and
Oh,
7.
was it really?
Right, but then according to where you were, with like say I was combat support, we were specialists. If I was been regular combat unit,
Yeah.
I'd have been a corporal. because I had authority.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
You know.
So you could have been an NCO.
Right.
Right. So where'd they send you? Where was your next assignment?
Fort Ord, California.
Fort Ord. Beautiful.
Seaside.
Where's that?
Seaside. Mid-state.
Oh, it's Northern California,
just south
man.
of San Jose.
Oh man, that is a nice
Wait.
area.
Yeah, that's right.
South
right?
of San Jose, Marina, Fort Ord, Carmel.
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
Gorgeous area.
that's the Richie Rich up there.
Jeez.
Who'd you go to? Who was your?
Went to an air defense unit. I stayed air defense my whole time.
But do you
Short
remember the
range.
unit?
Yeah, 151.
151 Air
151,
Defense.
1 Air Defense. 7th
Who you guys
Infantry
support?
Division. Whole division. We supported whoever.
What was the
on.
division up there?
It was 7th Infantry Division.
Oh, that's right. That's
We called it the
that's
crush,
like the
crushed
flower.
beer can. No, crushed beer can.
Oh, is that
It
what
was,
you
it was like
call
two triangles on top of each other. So we called it the crushed beer can.
Crushed beer can division. Nice.
Or that one, or some people call it the 7 and 7 because you take 2 sevens upside down, it turns into that.
I thought that patch was the ugliest patch. I thought it was the dumbest patch, to be honest with you.
That's awesome.
How was that assignment?
It was good. It was a really good assignment. Where our barracks were, we were about half a mile from the ocean.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we could date in the afternoon. We would pull out our lawn chairs and sit back, drink
And
beer.
see, this was before the snowy plover, where they
Yeah.
could actually
Yeah,
go on the beach. Right?
Yeah, we sit back and drink beer and watch the sun go down into the ocean.
God, that's so good.
Man, that's a great assignment.
So 79. So you're what? 22? 23?
22, yeah.
Oh my God, 22 in Northern California, or 21 in Germany? Did you get a cuckoo clock when you were in
No.
Germany? Yeah, why? Everybody gets a cuckoo clock.
No, but
Did you get a beer stein?
Tons of them.
Yeah.
To go back to the Germany, when we first got there, you had to go through a program called Head Start, which they'll teach you, German customs,
Oh,
some,
yeah,
some
yeah,
German
yeah.
language,
Okay, all right,
what,
all right.
what to do, if you go order a beer, don't do the 2 beer because you're getting 3, or you do 1 beer because that's
The German 3.
Yeah, German is 1, 2,
yeah.
3. So you go,
Right.
yeah, let me get a beer, and you got 2 beers. Like, oh, I want to order 1.
Yeah. Because
But-
they count from the thumb
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
So one of the guys I was over there with, he was real great guy. Called him Slim. He was a tall, slim guy. And we was in the class, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go on the tours. They're going to take us downtown and show us how to go in here, how to go there. And she's like, yeah, we're going to go to the crystal shop.
Crystal
And-
shop.
Yeah, where they make crystals.
Oh, wow.
Like, friend Slim thought he was going where they make crystal meth.
Oh, shit.
He got excited. We going to the crystal. We going where you mean they're taking us to where they go make crystal? I'm like, God, Slim, his glasses. They had taken us to get
Boy, was he
drugs.
disappointed.
Oh, he was disappointed. Yeah, he was disappointed.
He walks in, he's like,
Hey, wait. Wait.
oh, that crystal.
Art was nice. At Laguna Seca,
Yeah.
the big racetrack there.
Yeah.
That's why I fell in love with Formula Ones.
Yeah.
With all the up and down. I don't like the track racing. Formula Ones. We went to a couple motorcycle races there.
Oh, Laguna Seca is famous.
Yeah.
It's famous. Especially.
They shut down motorcycle racing at Laguna Seca when I got to California.
Why?
I was looking forward to it. They just never kept the track up the way it needed to be, up to speed.
It's got to be clean. It's got to be, it's
But
got to
that
be a
is a
certain way.
famous, gorgeous.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man.
And then we would go Carmel to the beach at Carmel.
Beautiful.
What's that? Pablo. What's the big golf course there?
Pebble Beach.
Pebble
Pebble Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pebble
We
Beach.
go out there, hang out on the beach. Went to
Did you ever get into golfing?
went to Clint Eastwood restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
In Carmel.
Back then, all those guys were living up there.
Yeah.
It was Nixon's place up there,
Yeah.
too, yeah. So,
There used to be it used to be called Glass Beach, and it was like up or down the coast from a glass factory, and they would just dump all their seconds and whatever in the ocean. And there was like half the beach was all salt, like washed over glass pieces, and then everybody came and started collecting all of them.
Really?
But there's a famous beach out there they called Glass Beach.
Really?
Yeah, that area is freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. When did you get promoted to E5?
They're in Fort Ord.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you do any ceremony for it?
Not really. They just called us out, showed us, because we went on the point system. So you had to
right.
have so many points.
As soon as you get
and
it.
with our points, because there wasn't that many air defenders, it was real low. So for E5, all you had to make was 450. For E6, you made 500 points, and you got promoted.
So what are you thinking? You joined up. Now you're in charge of people.
Right.
So what year are we talking about? I'm sorry. Remind me again.
79.
79. So, Jesus, 4 years in, 3 years in, you're E5.
Yep.
Doing well, right?
Yeah.
And now you're in charge of a squad or
Just
a section.
Three people. It was just three of us on our radar.
Do they call them sections or?
Squad. It was
Okay.
a squad.
You're
It was
a squad.
it was just three of us
All right.
on our little radar system.
So, what are you thinking of yourself? You're thinking I'm going all the way, or I mean, you've got to be close to reenlistment, right?
Oh, like I say, when I came in, it was
Okay.
I'm doing 20.
You already decided that?
Yeah. When I signed, like I say, my friend Dad say, if you're gonna do it,
You
do
never
20.
had a second thought. It's
Never
like,
had
hey,
it.
maybe this
Never
isn't
had it.
working. So far,
Never had it.
everything's going all right.
Yeah.
Right. And now you make it. Now you're E5.
Now
You make a
E5.
little bit of money.
A little bit of money, not much.
You living on base or off base?
I was living in the barracks. I wasn't married at the time.
Okay. But couldn't you go now that you're an NCO? Couldn't you go off base or no? What were the rules back then? Do you remember?
I think you pretty much had to be married at the time. Either
Still.
get quarters
Yeah.
or to move off base with your family.
But you're not an open bay. You've got a room, right?
Well,
Private room.
It was still World War II.
How was it back then?
Still World War II barracks.
Still open bay?
Still, well, the only way you had your own little private area was because the guy next to you turned his wall like a certain way. Then you turned yours a certain way. Then the guy next to you turned his a certain way.
Sure.
So you all had your little cubicles.
So all right. So you had semi-privacy.
Yeah.
Just because you couldn't see the
Just
guy.
'cause
You could still hear him doing whatever he was doing at midnight, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you just couldn't see him.
what part of the job did you enjoy? What did you like?
Actually going to the field.
Yeah.
Because it was just me and my two guys.
Okay.
It was just us.
Did they let you? Did they have not dummies or blanks, but did they let you go through the process? Your radar, right?
Right.
So they ran some exercises where
Right.
Did they run simulated data? How did they do
Yeah,
that?
they ran simulated data.
Okay.
We would, like I say, it's just me and my two guys. That
Yeah.
was it. We
Yeah.
get enough food for a couple of days, and
Did you ever get into teaching mode for those guys? For the younger guys?
you train them. You
same
train
thing.
them to
Right.
what the radar was, how to
Right.
do everything. So yeah, you kind of, like I said, it was just three of us. So
Yeah.
during the day, after a certain time in the morning, we just sitting there. So we train, we put out our little cards, our MOS cards, and we go through all the little steps on our MOS cards.
Oh yeah, all that stuff. I remember that. After you put up your nets and everything
Yeah.
else, you're like, okay, let's.
Yeah, that was the biggest part, how to do your nets. That was,
the nets. And then when you got back in garrison, right? You're repairing the
had
nets.
to repair them. Yep.
God, it's terrible. How long did you stay at Fort Ord till?
Stayed there a little over a year. Then I went to Korea.
Just a year at Fort Ord? How did that work?
A year and 3 months.
Oh,
I re-enlisted during that time frame to go to Korea.
Oh, and that was part of it.
Right.
All right,
So
so
I
you're off
re-enlisted for
to
Korea.
Seoul. Where'd you go?
I went to a little small town south of Seoul. Nope. North of Seoul, called Uijeongbu.
Okay. Yeah. Who are you part of? Who'd you get assigned to?
2nd Infantry Division.
Of course. Yeah.
Uijeongbu.
Were you a division asset? Or?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
The whole time, Uijeongbu was the big post close to us,
Yeah.
but we were at a little smaller post out from there.
Okay. Did you live on post or did you live off
Yeah,
post?
on post.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you had curfew.
Did you have an ajuma? Did
No,
you?
didn't.
Oh, come on now.
No, I didn't have no money for it.
You know what an ajuma is?
No, basically the house cleaner.
Basically, yeah, the guys who work
Yeah.
for $5-10 or whatever, and they'll just polish your boots.
Polish
right?
boots,
Yeah.
iron, wash your clothes, iron your uniforms.
Yeah. But he said he didn't. I don't believe it.
I like doing my own. My mom taught me how to iron, so.
What'd you think of Korea?
Well,
What'd you think when you got the assignment? Were you excited?
I was excited, yeah, but it was a year tour, and when you get there, if you went 2nd Army, which was down in Seoul, you were treated one way. If you was 2nd Division, you was pretty much a prisoner. You was pretty much, everybody thought you was
shit.
crazy, you was a murderer, because you was going up into the DMZ.
Oh,
You was going to, you was going up there where when the war started,
yeah.
the bridges and lakes and everything from there on was bombed.
Wow.
Was bombed. Yeah, you'd be walking somewhere under a bridge and you could see the bombs to blow the bridge if it happens.
Oh my God. Everything's wired.
Right, and
Because if the North comes,
if the North comes,
yeah.
and they after the Korean War, they rebuilt Seoul where it was nice and modern.
Right.
Up 2nd Division area, they kept it old. Because if you're gonna get something, you're gonna get the old shit.
Oh, shit.
I'm serious. If you gonna get it, you gonna get the old shit. You weren't gonna get
Of
no
course.
nice new houses.
Because
no
we're still
nice
trying to acquiesce to the Koreans
Right.
and everything else, right?
So if they came across, you was getting all the old buildings, the old Korean War buildings.
When did you try kimchi for the first time?
Never have.
Oh, come on! You had to have somebody go, come on, try this.
Never
It's
have.
been in the ground for a month. Come on, it's
Never.
rotten.
Tried dog, but never no kimchi.
Did you really?
Yeah, dog.
Inadvertently, or?
No. Went to the little restaurant that was on post and ordered it.
Yeah.
Cause
What?
see,
Really?
yeah, because back in those days, in the 80s,
Yeah.
where you would walk down the street and you would see all these, you think it was a pet store with all the dogs in it. It's a meat market.
Oh my God, all that's true.
Yeah,
All of that is true.
it was a meat market. Yeah,
Oh my God.
it wasn't a pet store. It was a meat market. You walk down there and people come out. You say, oh, they got them a little pet. No, they got dinner.
Wow. Did you get your fake Gucci purses?
Oh
in
yeah,
there? Did you
fake
get your
Gucci
Coach
purses,
Yeah.
coaches,
Yeah.
your fake Nike jackets. Oh yeah,
I mean, it's essentially the same thing.
Jerseys.
jerseys. Oh
right.
yeah, you know, got a couple nice leather jackets, custom made,
Yep.
cashmere jackets.
Oh, did you still have them?
Yeah.
Nice. Cashmere. Whoa. You have any highlights from being over in Korea? Any, when you were
We
deployed
did,
or anything?
Korea was. We was in the field. We
Yeah.
stayed in the field.
Yeah.
We did a week back on post, a week in the field, a week back
Oh,
on
it was
post.
that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're constantly being farmed out to everybody going out there, right?
So we would go up to we had two radar sites. One of our sites, you can get up in the morning and with binoculars or without binoculars, and you could see the North Korean flag flying. We were just
You was that far.
close. That close.
I mean, that far up north, but that close to
That
the
close,
north,
yeah.
right?
Well, you could just look out and you could see the flag flying. Once a week, middle of the night, all of a sudden machine gun fire going off. They would fire into South Korea to a designated area. The Koreans on that post would fire back over into a designated area just to let each other know we're awake.
Oh, really?
Still here.
Yeah.
That's a hell
That
of
is
a-
nuts.
Yeah.
You can't do a radio check. Hey, radio check. You guys still...
Hey, we're so good.
You guys still hate us?
Let
Yeah.
me pop a chem light. No.
Give
Give me 100 rounds of 50 count. Jesus.
They fire, you fire.
Wow.
Just to let you know that we was still awake and.
Tell me
Wait.
real quick before I lose this piece.
Yeah.
Tell me real quick. You were the radar piece for air defense.
Right.
Just give me a summary of how that whole system would work.
Okay, the system would work. We had a 24-mile stretch that our radar would track. 12 miles north, 12 miles south.
Ground radar, right?
Right, ground radar. So we would track it. It would go into a certain area. We'd get on our radar, on our radio, aircraft. We had a identification friend or foe.
IFF.
Right, IFF identification.
Okay.
Right. So if it showed up a foe, we
Sure.
let the ground people know, hey, we got aircraft coming in at this angle.
Would you send them data?
Yeah.
Is that how that worked?
Yeah, it was just like a computer. We had it just hit like playing bingo, F-22. It'll pop up on the TAD system in that spot.
And
this
so
is what
those guys would get it.
right. Orient. Then they had, even though we sent them saying it was a enemy aircraft, the Stinger, Chaparral, Vulcan guys had to do what they called identification. So they had to actually look through binoculars.
So they had to have visual in it.
have a visual.
Okay.
And then that's when they went into the fin flash. So you had to look at the aircraft because we traded so many aircrafts with so many people.
True. Yeah.
So you have to look at the aircraft and see what type of flag was on the aircraft tail
Before they could
before
shoot.
you can fire.
Wow.
That's getting close. You're getting close.
It's like,
Now our
got some magnification on that thing? Because,
our radar, if it was coming at a certain speed, if it was this big, all metal, we could track it.
okay.
Jeez.
Wow.
But it had to be that big, coming at a certain
Yeah,
speed. If
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just coming slow, but you could tell between aircrafts and helicopters, because aircrafts was like bam, 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 bam. Helicopters like
Yeah.
You could tell which was which.
Wow, very cool, man. That's pretty cool that you've been able to do that, at least up until now, their whole career, right?
Right.
So you're after Korea, where'd you go?
Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Home of the 101st Airborne.
Air Assault.
Oh, that's right. Air
Air
Assault.
Assault.
They had the Eagle.
Yep.
The Airborne had the All-American and everything else. So
Yeah.
you get to Fort Campbell, Kentucky in what year?
80, the end of 81.
God damn.
I got to Fort Campbell.
Is that where you got promoted to E5? Was it
No, I got promoted to,
in Korea?
I got promoted to E5 at Fort Ord. Got promoted 9 months later in career to E6.
Nice.
My point system was slow.
You got some power now.
And the same guy that promoted me at Fort Ord
Staff sergeant
promoted me in career.
Really?
Is it small?
Wow. Same guy.
Air defense is a small branch.
Who'd you get assigned to at
Oh man,
do you remember? I mean, were you
I
still
should've.
a division asset?
yeah, we still
All right, so
division
you're
asset.
with the 101st.
Right.
What were your impressions of Fort Campbell, Kentucky?
Fort Campbell was rapid deployment.
They were RDF, right? They were an RDF force at that point,
Yep.
right?
You pick up and you go.
Yeah.
And that's what my first wife left me, or I left her, because she couldn't understand how I could just pick up one day, leave, come back a month later, and can't tell her where I've been.
How long did you marry her? Or you were married?
2 years.
Okay. So
Because the one that really got her was 4th of July, because we was on call, or on cycle once a month. We was on cycle for 3 weeks.
yeah.
4th of July, we was living in quarters. Me and my neighbors, they was like, oh, come on, have a beer, we barbecue, come on, play baseball. I'm like, I'm on call.
Right, you can't.
I
That
can't.
is nothing.
You know,
right?
and there was no cell phones, so I had to stay at home. If you went somewhere, you had to call the CQ or the charge of quarters.
Oh, yeah.
Say, hey, I'm going to Walmart. I'll be there an hour. I'll call you when I get back home.
Yeah.
Go get an hour. Call when you get back home. Hey, I'm back home.
Crazy.
So we was 4th of July. We outside. They outside playing baseball and drinking and barbecuing, and it was like 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, they're not gonna call us. So I go inside, put my shorts on, my stuff, go outside, open me up a beer, set it down, playing baseball, and when we was playing softball, the guy threw the ball in the air, and I looked up, and I dropped the bat. I'm like, I'm out.
They called right then?
Yeah,
Oh my
and they're
God.
like, what do you mean you out? I'm like, you see those three C-141s?
You saw them take up?
No, I saw they were circling, coming.
Yeah,
they was coming in.
They were coming in.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
30 minutes later,
That's when you got the
packed my
call.
bag and I was gone for a month. I go, where y'all been? I can't tell you.
Right.
They picked us up and
And
they
she
dropped
couldn't
us
take
off,
it.
and she couldn't take it.
She was like, enough of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but lucky I met my wife now. She was at Fort Campbell, so she understood.
Was she
rapid
military as
yeah.
well? See, that's smart.
She
Why did
understood.
you do that in the first place?
I don't know.
What was your next assignment?
Hawaii.
Schofield Barracks.
Schofield Barracks.
Yeah.
Air Defense Division, that's it. Schofield.
25th Infantry Division.
Yep.
What year was that you went to Hawaii?
86. Nope. 83 to 86.
83 to 86. You get out there, they stick you in the temporary hotel down there?
Schofield. No, they took us straight up.
Oh, they did?
Straight up to the replacement.
Yeah.
From there, went to J Quad. You know where J Quad was?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Air Defense. We was with field artillery
Yeah.
over in that area.
Right. That's World War II barracks.
Yeah.
Still with the bullets in them.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I loved Hawaii. Hawaii was a good duty station. That was rapid deployment also.
Oh, you were RDF too?
Yeah.
Oh,
In
no shit.
Honolulu, yeah.
Did you ever get executed on that? Or did
Yeah.
you do
Yeah, we did New Zealand, and
Wow.
I did 3 weeks in Australia, Brisbane.
Really?
Nice.
That's fantastic. Man.
Yeah. A couple other guys went to the Philippines, but I
This
didn't
is a
never go.
rough ass assignment. Listen to this career field. Like, other than maybe Kentucky, the rest are fucking gold, man. Like, it's like, the Army is so difficult.
Hawaii's great.
Hawaii is, oh yeah.
Did you go up North Shore at all?
North Shore, yeah. Was it Bellows?
Yeah.
We used to go every weekend. Well, about once a month. My platoon would go over to Bellows for the weekend, just lay out on the beach. And
We had a friend who had they rented a house up on North Shore, and they would send out an alert whenever they were doing a photo shoot. And then within like 30 minutes, we'd all be up there because their balcony overlooked part of the beach. They would always do a Sports Illustrated shoot,
Right.
or some other kind of bikini shoot, and you just have 10 guys with big binoculars. It's like it was the creepiest
Some
thing ever.
field grade binoculars. At the end of the day, you got tan lines. Is those sunglasses tan lines?
Right.
Nah, man. I was up on the North Shore.
Bikini shoot. It was crazy but it was beautiful.
yeah.
It was
Oh yeah.
Bellows is gorgeous. And
Yeah.
Bellows
Oh,
is
it's
like
beautiful. Yeah,
a
right.
Air Force
Yeah.
R&R base on like.
it's exclusive.
Yeah.
Without being exclusive, but it's exclusive to
Yeah.
military.
Yeah. Yeah. We were in cabins there.
Oh yeah, the cabins.
They even did the tasking came down for North Shore. Just
North Shore.
yeah.
What tasking you got up at North Shore?
They wanted somebody just there to go pick up trash during the day. So we was
I'll go.
we was on North Shore for about 2 weeks, standing.
Picking up trash.
With
Picking
your
up
little
trash.
pictures, one beer can, 15 minutes of staring at thongs.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that was great.
that is a good assignment.
They had Holocaust back then. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could stay down there for cheap.
For cheap, yeah.
Cheap back then.
But nice.
Yeah.
Had one of our friends go there, and he says, a couple $100 now.
Yeah, it's not
reserve
the
it a
same.
year out.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much. All right, so 86. Where'd they send you from there?
Here,
Carson?
Fort Carson. I did my last 9 years total here at Carson.
How'd you do 9 years? Yeah. How'd you
'Cause-
homestead like that? Did you,
I did 5, went to career for a year, and came right back.
oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
because my wife and kids was here in quarters. So
Yeah.
But they actually had me on orders to go to Bragg, go to the Q course, the Special Forces course.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you interested in that?
I told them no 6 times. And I got my orders, and they was like, "You going to Fort Bragg?" I'm like, "These motherfuckers got me." Then about a week later, some new orders came back to send me back here.
No chance. But, I mean, at one time, did you want to go to be a Green Beret?
You know, exactly when I first got in, yeah.
Sure.
I was young,
Yeah, sure.
good shape.
That's when they get you.
Yeah. But
But then when you get a second wife and you get some kids and you're like, okay, that shape is it's secondary now.
yeah, I didn't want to be that, be away from my kids that much, or wife for that much.
Yeah. So, 9 years and you retired out of
Retired out of here,
Carson.
Yeah.
What year did you retire?
96.
When did you get promoted to senior NCO, Sergeant First Class?
87. I had 10 years in,
Yeah.
and I got
Jesus,
promoted.
that's still moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is fast.
How did you not get Master Sergeant? Did you try?
Well,
I don't
Two-
mean to
No,
say
no.
that will, because some people
No.
don't try.
No.
Right? Some people are like, I'm fine with
I,
E7.
I had all the schools. I had everything, but I had a sergeant major that didn't like me here.
That'll do it every time.
Had a sergeant major that didn't like me, and one day I was talking with a first sergeant friend of mine, and he was like, "Hey, come on, let's go outside and have a cigarette." I'm like, "First sergeant, I don't smoke." He's like, "Oh, well, let's get a cup of coffee." I'm like, I don't drink coffee." He's like, "You'll never make E8."
Are you serious?
Yeah. I always say, if you don't smoke, drink coffee, you'll never make E8.
Wow.
And I never made E8.
Wow.
Yeah. You couldn't compromise and drink some coffee or something?
I mean, you wanted to, right?
I never. Well, that's a whole different story.
Were you ever a first sergeant?
No,
Did you turn it down?
I just didn't want it.
Well, and in your career
mean,
field, it's small.
It was small, yeah, and you had, you had four companies, and those that did make E8, they would send over to the headquarters
Right.
for first sergeants, and
You didn't want to be a sergeant major or anything?
nah, I wanted to. Actually, I did want to, because when I was in Fort Bliss for ANOC, they had the first sergeant course started like a week after I graduated ANOC, and I called back up here and say, "Hey, I'm here.
Why not just go?
Just let me here. I just moved from one barracks to the next."
Yeah.
"Oh, we need you back up here. We need you back up here." I came back up here, and
They didn't need you.
Right.
they didn't need me.
They always say that, man.
Yeah.
Always.
But at that time, we was getting rid of all our radars. That's when they was phasing air defense out, and then they was phasing air defense. And I'm like, "Well, what we gonna do now?" Because we was radar operators. "Oh, you guys are going scout." So we went to scout school.
Scouts?
Yeah, so we went to scout school.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
That's all they had for us.
What is this?
God.
What's
A scout. We go out.
Armor Scout.
Yeah.
Were you going to be an Armor Scout?
No, we was got air defense scout because we had stingers. So we had our we had our Humvee with stingers on it, and we would move 2-3 o'clock in the morning, go set up,
What?
and just sit there.
Oh my God, that makes no sense whatsoever.
None at all. Made none. But
Jesus.
then again, we were so used to just being the three of us
Yeah.
that it was perfect. It was just the three of us going.
Well, sure.
We didn't go with 8, 9,
But
10 people.
in a combat environment, for you guys to drive forward of the lines,
Right.
and then try to set up naked with no defenses.
No defenses. Nothing.
The Soviet doctrine was so
Oh,
dumb,
man.
It was so dumb
Because we was
that we tried to fight against. It was ridiculous.
we were at NTC. We had got on top of one of the
National Training Center.
Yeah, we had got
Mojave.
airlifted into one of the mountain sites there,
Yeah.
and we knew they was going to attack that morning. So me and my guys sitting there, and Soviet doctoring. The first group came through. The guy like, "Oh, I'm gonna call." I'm like, "Nope, don't call."
Not yet.
He's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Just wait and see."
Main body's coming.
Yep. About 10, 15 vehicles shoot down the street. The second wave come, about 20. Oh, I'm gonna call. Nope, don't call yet. You're like, why not? I'm like, look, the dust cloud coming. That's the rest of the night. Now you call.
Yeah, that's right. Now
Then they got about 100 vehicles coming after that, rolling through there.
it was crazy. Sometime I'll show you some of the videos of NTC, of the old Soviet doctrine as you used to
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And the one part about NTC is that they would bring you in for an after action report, and they would just humiliate you. It was like, why did you call for fires on this? I'm like, and like, I didn't. And they're like, play clip 30, because they record all your
Yep.
radio, they record all your movements. And they're like, oh, play clip 25. It's like, is that you calling for
they
fire?
already got it written down.
And you're like, fuck, god damn it.
Because we went,
It's
They
so
did-
humiliating. It's crazy.
they
Yeah,
did,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
they did that to us because we went in one night and we
In the Star
So-
Wars, they used to call it
Yeah.
the Star Wars building.
we creeped our way through enemy lines, 4 north of them. And right when we got in and got set up, about an hour later, they called us, y'all got to come back. We was like, why?
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, like, why? Y'all went 10 feet out of the area.
Oh,
Because we
all
took
in
a
the box.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were 10 feet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we
Yeah.
went out and came back in. So they called us back because we went 10 feet out. And we passed like an armor battalion when we did it.
The enemy armor, but you wave at them.
Smart move.
Yep. So we jump back in our vehicles. We creep our way back. And they're like, okay, then you can go back.
Yeah.
Because we got out of there. So
We already flipped them the bird, man.
so we jump in our vehicle. And they like, what we going to do? I'm like, punch it.
Did you really?
Oh, we hauled ass through there.
Nice. Nice.
Like, fuck it. We was already caught, so what they gonna do? Catch
Yeah,
us?
right.
You know,
Catch us more.
catch us more and say, hey, y'all can't do it.
Catching.
You know what they gonna do? Oh, we caught y'all. Y'all gotta stand down for 24 hours. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We did that. If you got killed when we were doing an exercise or something like that, they would either send you back to the dorms
Right.
or send you to a hangar.
Right.
And we would literally just sit around playing spades and bullshit.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
Right.
you were hoping
Right.
you got killed. Like the
That's what
exercise controllers would come out and be like, "You're dead. You're wounded. Go to the hospital. You're good. Go report." You're like,
I wish I'm
come on.
trying to get a deck of those cards.
Right.
With the kill cards
Yeah.
for miles, right?
Yep.
And you would have to put them in your pocket. And then when they were like, "Oh, you're dead," pull your card out, and you're like, "Oh, I'm non-ambulatory,
Yep.
so I guess I'll go to sleep."
Cause we would get the cards and then we'd go through. Oh,
Yeah,
Hey.
who wants that one? right.
I got killed.
So, when you got promoted to sergeant first class,
Uh-huh.
what was that ceremony like? I mean, that's huge, right?
I was in my advanced course. I was down at Fort Bliss for my advanced course.
Oh, you
when
were
I got
for
promoted.
the senior SEO advanced
Yeah.
course? Huh.
And just so happened that my colonel that I was stationed with at Fort Campbell
Yeah.
was down there.
No, what?
He was some pencil pusher.
But at Campbell, you were an E5, right?
6.
Or an E6.
Yeah. So
Wow.
we found him. Me and one of my friends that was at Campbell with us. We worked with him.
Yeah.
We went, found him, and said, "Hey, sir, I'm getting promoted. Would you like to do it?" He jumped on it.
No shit.
And he said when he came down and he promoted, it was like 7 of us. I'll call him just for me.
Yeah.
He pinned each one of us. And he like, whenever y'all need me to come down, he like, I'm going to put this on my calendar. 'Cause I'm going to come down and do this because he was an NCO person. He was
It's
all
few
about
and
the
far
NCO.
between, as we all know.
Right. He was all about the NCOs.
That's great.
Because he pushed for a long time to go back to the big patches on your sleeve instead of the little things because you could see them.
Because you could see him.
Yeah.
And it was status.
Yep.
It was a status thing.
Little Vinny Tedesco, how we called him.
Lil?
Little Vinny.
Oh, really? What? Everybody's little to you.
No, he was shorter than you. So me being a smart ass.
I know. I get it.
Me being a smart ass, he wanted to go air assault, but he couldn't get over some of the obstacles because he was so short.
You're kidding.
Right. He couldn't get over it was like an X thing you had to step over.
Yeah.
He was so short he couldn't get over it. And I knew this. So I was talking with him one day. I'm like, "Hey, sir, when you go air assault, I'll go." Because I know he wasn't going to go. Because he couldn't. That son of a bitch went to air assault.
Did he?
Son Francis. I'm like, "What, sir?" Air assault school starts Monday. I'm like, "You going?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Fuck."
Damn it,
He got me.
And it was at Bragg.
No, that was at Campbell. Fort Campbell.
Oh, I mean Campbell. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Campbell.
Yeah, Fort Campbell.
Did you give him boosties over there? 'Cause, like,
No, wait a minute.
Right behind him.
So I think we're selling it short. Did you get air assault?
Yeah.
So you're dope on a rope.
Up on the rope.
Did you get jump school?
Nah.
Okay.
Because they did away with, when I got there in 81, they had just did away with Fort Campbell doing jump school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it
And they
used to
just
be.
went straight air assault.
Right, it used to be. So air assault, goddamn, that's 10 days of shit.
Yep.
That's so whenever you see those guys rappelling out of the helicopters,
Yeah.
that's air assault.
Yep.
That's the bullwinkle wings, right?
Yeah. I looked up that patch.
Yeah. Well, it's a metal, right?
Yeah.
It's a pin.
Well, yeah, just a little pin, air assault helicopter with wings on it.
So, when did you decide to retire, and why did you decide to retire?
Because I was hitting my 20 years.
Well, yeah, but still.
Not because
Right?
I said I was going to do. Well, I retired in January.
Okay.
I wanted to stay till September because I wanted to retire at 40 years old. But
Oh, shit. Yeah.
but the Army and I had gained so much weight and
But they were gonna like.
they no you
It's dope on a rope
yep,
right there.
no you got to get out, you got to get out. I'm like, okay.
Really?
But and the sad thing is they was putting so many people out at that time that they needed people.
Yeah.
How do we do this? How do we do this? What was your proudest moment in the military?
I would have to say when I made E7
Yeah. Why?
because I did it in 10 years.
That's fucking amazing.
That's a good call.
Especially in the Army.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to have some people resent you for that.
Oh yeah.
Fuck
Yeah. But I had I had all the schools that we needed.
Sure.
Sure. I had everything, but like say, I couldn't go any. Well, maybe if I went to a different unit, where somebody liked me, because I cussed my son Major out when I came back from ANOC.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't like me. He didn't because. Well,
And there is that. There is
So-
that, right?
so-
There's a lot of that.
it started when I left Hawaii to come here.
Okay.
I made the E7 list, but I didn't know I made the E7 list.
Okay.
So he called me in his office one day, and he was like, "Oh, you on the E7 list? And you didn't come and tell me." I'm like, "Some
You
agent."
gotta be like, holy shit, really?
like-
I made these.
I'm like, and this was '86. I'm like, I didn't make E7 till '87. the next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, some agent I didn't know. This is the first.
It's not up to you.
Right. Like, this is the first I heard about it. So he was pissed about that because my name, because Keith A. Francis came out. So I went back to visit my wife and kids was still in Hawaii. I flew back to Hawaii. I talked with one of my friends that was in the S1, the pack, and I had him look it up. Keith A. Francis, same entry date. Last 4 of our socials was the same.
What?
He came in Alexandria, Virginia. I came in Alexandria, Louisiana. And he was 12 Bravo.
Holy
Kidding me?
No.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
That's yeah. Same date. We entered the same day. Same day. Like I say,
Alternate universe shit.
yeah. Same name.
I got
Same
congratulated
everything.
for making master because Jacob B. Wall
Right.
made master, and I'm Jacob A. Wall. They're like, "Oh, you're on the list," and I'm like, "Okay, cool, awesome,"
Yeah.
you know. And then I go, "Oh, he's a different career field."
Yeah, and he was like, I was 16 hotel, and he was 12
That's
Bravo.
completely crazy.
Yeah.
Good night, man. How do you have the last 4 of the same?
I don't know.
Because that's all we go on.
But it, like I
Right.
said,
your last
Right.
four?
Everything's last
What's
one.
your last
his was from Virginia's, and that the first 5
the
was,
first 5 is different.
was different, but our last 4 was the same.
Yeah.
Like I said, same day, same name, same progression, everything.
No way.
And he was mad at me. I'm like, then when I got back and I told him, and he looked it up, but he just held it against me the whole time.
You did that on purpose.
You know,
Get out of here.
so when did you, how was your retirement ceremony? And where
I
was
didn't go.
What? Wait, what?
Nope.
You can't skip your own retirement.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Had all my paperwork, everything done. This is the date. This is when you're retiring. We're having your retirement ceremony. I'm like, okay.
Why?
Just I
Because
just didn't want to do it.
Soured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because stuff like you just talked
Yeah.
about.
No, I just didn't go.
Where was it supposed to be?
Oh, here on Carson.
And when was it supposed to be?
It was supposed to be the 30th of January, 1996.
1996.
I didn't even go. I like fuck.
I admire this.
I had my paperwork. I'm like, hey, I'm out. What y'all gonna, what y'all gonna do?
Right,
I'm getting paid.
Did you get spanked? No.
Okay, I know. So, you retire.
Uh-huh.
Tell us real quick, what'd you do after you retired?
After I retired, I worked for Delta Airlines for 13 years.
Wow, really?
Went to work for Delta, underwing, load, unload.
Out at Colorado Springs or up at DA?
Out of Springs.
Okay.
Out of Springs did low plans.
Yeah.
13
Yeah,
years.
sure.
It was a good job.
You know that.
It didn't. The pay sucked,
Oh, did
but
it
we got
really?
paid every week, which was
Huh,
good. We
that's
got paid.
unusual.
Yeah, we got paid every week, and I could fly anywhere I want to for $50.
Oh,
So
that's kind of nice.
yeah, me and my family,
Yeah.
$50 anywhere I wanted to go.
Now he doesn't fly at all. He road
No,
trips.
yeah, I rode.
Are you an RV guy?
No, just in my truck.
Okay.
Get in my truck and go.
All right.
Well, then down here one day with a friend of mine, and they had a job opening. He asked me to apply for the job. So like, okay, he went and helped me do my resume, everything.
Yeah. What was the job?
I was working in the operations center when I first started. That we get all the information that came in. People got killed, how many got attacked.
Wait,
Well,
Operation Center for what?
operations center. So we got all the information for the general briefing the next morning.
Oh, okay.
So
All right,
like
all right.
a snow day, if there's going to be so much snow, we would let them know how much snow was going to be.
Yeah.
If so many people got hurt or injured in Iraq, Afghanistan. We would get their paperwork. We let them know X amount of people got hurt, X amount of people did this, X amount of people did that.
Yeah.
But I applied for it. I did my job interview sitting downstairs drinking a beer with my boss.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, he and I was sitting down there talking, and he was asking me questions, and we drinking beer. And the next week or two, he called me up, and he was like, yeah, Tiny. He called me Tiny at the time. He said, I got the list of who all we gonna hire, but I don't know your real name.
You kidding?
He didn't know my name. He knew me by Tiny.
He knew you for how long?
2 years.
But he never knew your
That was my real name.
Okay. All right.
So when I saw my Tiny, it's Keith Francis. He said, okay, there you are. They'll be calling you in a day or two.
There you are.
A couple of days later, they called me, and I got hired.
You got hired down at Fort Carson?
Yeah, got hired at DOD.
Nice. As like a
Civilian? Yeah.
So a GS.
Started as a GS9.
Okay. What'd you get out at?
Well, I stayed at GS9.
Well, yeah, sure.
I mean, I did 5 years there, then another 8 years, because when everybody started coming back from Iraq, all the soldiers started coming back. They didn't have jobs for the guys that was retiring.
Yeah.
So they took all the civilians out of the operations center to put the retirees in,
I got you.
because they can work 2 days, off 3 days, work 2 days, off 3 days.
All right.
So they can get all their paperwork done. So then I went from there to the training support center, which that's when I became an instructor in teaching classes.
In what? Teaching classes in what?
Miles gear.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We had a indoor gun range. We had a call for fire range.
What a blast!
We had
That had to be
a
awesome.
heat
Call
rollover.
for fire.
Yeah.
You were teaching them calling artillery.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
We had heat rollover. So we get them in the vehicle and you roll them over, show them
Really?
how to evacuate the vehicle safely.
What a blast!
We had a tank simulator hooked up to our call for fire center in the back.
Oh man! How long did you do that for?
8 years. Taught javelin. How to shoot.
Javelin. Really? Wow.
We did IEDs. How to do IEDs.
God, what a decade! This last decade, right? I mean,
Yeah.
my God, there's a necessary
Yeah.
for all that training. There's
But
a
now
need
since
for all that
everybody's
training.
back, they done got rid of all. Since I retired, they done got rid of pretty much all the equipment, all the rollover equipment, all the tanks. They still do call for fire in the indoor gun range.
Yeah.
We got so.
God, what a fantastic career!
Cool.
Yeah.
What a fantastic career! Do we get it all?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we got all the official stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a whole lot of unofficial stuff that we're going to talk about at the park, right? Sergeant First Class retired Keith Francis.
Yep.
Thanks for taking the time. It's been an honor. It's been a
Oh, no
privilege to
problem.
get your story, man.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Great. Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
thank you very much.
On behalf of Sergeant First Class Francis, I'd like to thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, please leave a like and a comment and share the podcast with someone else. And as always, make sure to download the next episode for more service origin stories. So until next time, attention! Dismiss!